Oh, yeah. Coming up next, we have the dope dad himself. That's right, Rico Lamitte, who needs to adjust his camera because he's looking real pixelated right now. Oh, yeah. We thought the internet gangbangers were leaving him alone, but apparently they followed him and have marked his new residence. That's right. It is the dope dad himself, Rico Lamitte.
Yeah, man. I'm just celebrating the Super Mario Brothers movie that just came out, and I'm coming in straight 8-bit. Is it really? I don't know what's going on with my Razer camera today, but I'm just keep it going.
People walking around your house like you're at Gretchen's.
Is that my wife, or is it a small person?
How many Yodas do you have back there, though, bro? Sorry.
Grogu.
Oh, sorry.
Let's just get started here. All right, so obviously I'm not down in Miami for this week's Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. I've been in Los Angeles freezing my butt off in these mid 50-degree weather conditions. But after tapping in with several of my industry contacts and seeing some of the topics covered in speakers, I got to say, they've been grinding out some absolute bangers as far as conversational track quality. And one panel yesterday centered on New York market and if MSOs and conditional applicants will be able to coexist in their nascent recreational industry. California changed the game late in 2018 when Governor Jerry Brown, 1 foot out the door, decided to lift a promised 5-year cap on cultivation size to give small farmers and operators a fighting chance to build up their own legal businesses before the bigs were allowed to move in and compete. The move's impact resulted in big box MSOs being at odds with mom and pop shops ever since. And now not just in California, but nationwide, with one side fighting to preserve the industry's roots and often just to keep the lights on, and the other to establish legitimacy and in a stigmatized field and be seen as more than just mere corporate colonizers to communities of legacy consumers of a generation of history, not trusting folks that look and sound like they do. Current economic conditions in mainstream America have brought tension between the two sides to an all-new high, with giants like Curaleaf all out retreating from legacy markets where they couldn't establish connection with the locals and focusing on emerging markets where they could better control narratives and pitch proven systems of business practices, stability, job growth, and quality control as an advantage over legacy player options to local politicians and communities within those nascent regions. But is it fair? I'd argue that the folks who've fought the battles and actually won the illegal and racist war on drugs should have the biggest seat at the table with regulators and should be first to be heard because of the generational pain and suffering that they have had and often still do have to deal with before corporate players get to try their own hand. New York is trying to do just that. And as much trash as we talk about how slow and bumpy things are going on out there, I think at least from a rhetorical standpoint, they're going about things properly. But now the shoe's on the other foot. Corporate cannabis is fighting back with lawsuits and complaining about delays to their own plans and to bring billions of capital to what was promised as an opportunity for them to thrive in the last major market to legalize in America. Sounds familiar. We're fighting the same fight, y'all. In yesterday's panel, both sides of operators represented made their case for how things were going, listing triumphs and gripes, but also pointing the finger at illicit players ruining it for everyone. Interesting debate indeed, and if you all get the chance to see the whole thing online, I highly recommend it. But my question to everyone here is not just about the New York industry, but for cannabis overall. When all the smoke clears, will mom and pop shops and big box MSOs be able to put their differences aside and coexist? Or are both sides doomed and the future going to be just medical weed, trappers, and government boof? I'm Rico Lamitte, dopest dad on the street, and apparently it's open season here. Just walking on through my motherfucking set. But I'd like to hear from you guys. What y'all think?
So you're in a high traffic zone, apparently, Rico.